how long did it take you to move through the program where you eventually graduated from the U-turn program?
So 2018, around 2018 is when I started the journey Powerhouse. I formally went into work readiness, I think in 2019. Yeah, 2019 to just before 2020 started is when I graduated. And around about there is when myself and you were having quite a few talks, and you saw the potential that I had, and I've been blessed to have come out of corporate before I went down the dark journey. I was in corporate for 13 years. I was in cellular and sales, worked for a lot of big call centers. So I've got that work ethic and experience and qualification behind my name. And you just helped me to unlock that potential again, in the sense that it's always been there. Just that when you go into depression and you suffer homelessness and you suffer brokenness and you suffer addiction, you tend to forget that you have that, and you helped me see together with a caseworker and fantastic manager at the time that I had was Oscar. Helped me to unearth it, or should I say, switch it on again.
Right.
Basically, in that helped me to find the self-belief that I could believe in myself again. So I did this before, I can do it.
That's great. That's great. That's wonderful to hear. And how long have you been the manager of one of our stores? It's been a while already, hasn't it?
I'm hitting 6 years now.
6 years of being involved
being
with
as a staff and being
right.
as a store manager. I know you appointed me first as a supervisor at Claremont when I graduated there. I was already a supervisor midway through that graduation, and then I did a year as a supervisor, after which you then came to me and you said, listen, I love the work that you do, and we feel that you'd be an asset in that job. And at the same time, I was applying to shift school because I had this whole goal set with Margot of when I was in growth. She said, okay, what goals are we working towards? So my other passion is culinary arts. So I had applied online. There's this organization, it's something run by government where it's all the companies and organization that does bursary. So I applied to Woolworths for bursary.
Right.
So at the same time, when you offered me permanent employment as a store manager, Woolworths also then sent a reply and said, listen, we've been in your bursary for 3 years to choose. And then I went home and I said, I had quiet time with God and I said, what do I do here, God? I want to do both these things. And God says, you know what, this is where, and it's how obedience comes forward, trusting your Creator, in the sense that God says to me, I know this is where your heart is. This is where I need you.
Right.
And I need you to trust me. It's like I say to my champs every day, there's something that when we come out of addiction, you suffer from called instant gratification. When you want something, you want it now. And I've learned to be humble and wait on God, because I've learned that God opens doors at the right time. At the right time is not my time. It's His time.
So you still feel like that's a passion that you want to pursue going forward in your career?
It's something that's will always be on the back burner, but there's always other ways how I can still go about achieving that. But my passion and my heart is in the work that I do, in working for this great organization. That I feel that deciding to stay on and being I would say an ambassador for the organization and the work that we do. I decided to stay on because I wanted to be a life coach, I wanted to be a mentor, but most importantly, I wanted to be that beacon of light that so many others that's come before me, that's on this walk, and that coming after me, can do the same thing. That if I can do it, there's absolutely no reason that you cannot do it either.
No, absolutely, absolutely. That's great. Thanks, Alister. So, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time, running and you've been in more than one of our charity stores, but currently you are located at the Access Park store, which is a beautiful location. I think people love going there. There's coffee there, which is cool. There's a garden there, you can sit and you can shop, which is really lekker. But I wanted to find out from you around a typical day in a U-turn charity store. What does a typical day look like? Because running a charity store versus running a conventional retail store, from my experience, is very different. There's a lot more challenges, and I think some people might think, oh, it's a charity store, you just got to do A and B and C. But I'd love to hear from you, like, what does a typical day look like, and how different is it to maybe what people kind of think it might be? And I think maybe some of the challenges we might also have with managing champs at the same time.
Yeah. Well, a typical day in our retail stores in U-turn is first and foremost, obviously, showing up. That's the most important thing. You need to show up in order for everything else to happen.
Yes.
So it's obviously, my day starts at before 8:30 to get to the store, open up the store, get the champs ready, have them get settled in. At our store, at most stores, we have some prep time where we need to obviously pack out the displays, get everything ready. But the important segment of our day is starting off with our daily devotion.
Yes.
And also checking in. How that differs from corporate is, in corporate they don't care how you're feeling. You just got to show up and do the work that you pay for.
Yes.
You sign on the line to say you can do this job, so do it. Can't, we replace you. On our side of it, it's totally different in the sense that we're working with people that come from brokenness, like I have, and we basically need to be very sensitive in the sense of helping them unlock what they are struggling with and battling with. So there's two parts to it. There's building the spirituality and connecting with God again in the devotion, and also helping them also to be able to start opening up more and unpacking, so it's a two-part thing. So we get stuck into the devotion. By 9 o'clock we open up the doors, ready to serve the public, and also to receive our donors and sponsors that come in on a daily basis. We have structure within our retail side, in the sense that champs have assigned duties, and the duties of a champ and the descriptions, I assign them to departments. So it's not a point of just keeping a champ busy. There's basically helping them to rebuild a work ethic, helping them to be punctual, time management, helping them to take on responsibility, helping them to become customer and people orientated, in the sense that by helping them to, because champs come to me in the beginning and they will be like all in the corner hiding away, don't want to speak to customers. But then I'll take them step by step, and you bring them bit by bit out of the shell until they blossom. I had a guy like Jacinto and Lorenzo, where I basically do an example where I show them how I go about presenting a My Change voucher. It says, that's all you gotta do, you just gotta be yourself. And guys end up selling vouchers. I have to reorder twice a week sometimes, and that helps them. So we help bring out confidence, in the sense that if you can talk to a total stranger and be humble enough to share your experience of your past, then you can conquer anything. So we empower them with a lot of skills and with a lot of tools that they can use, because it's not just about working in a retail store. It's more to that, where the segment of the program is called work readiness. So it's our job to mold and shape them, that they are ready to face the world and be able to reintegrate into society and function normally, basically.
I think what makes a program really special is the fact that they're not just in the store every single day, right? Yeah. So tell us a bit about the development side.
Yeah, so basically they would be out of their 5-day week, they are assigned one development day. So it's a day where you meet up with your caseworker, where you basically work through your module. The module basically consists of things where they learn to unpack, like relapse prevention, early recovery, and all those things. Basically a roadmap to recovery, understanding your brain, and things like different types of things like that, money management. There's different segments that they do at development day. but it's also for the caseworker to be able to assess how far you've grown, what you're battling with, and where do we need to work, what do we need to work on. So you get given goals, okay, work on this for me for this week. Maybe you struggle with, being more honest, so things like that. And it is something good.
And was it a very useful tool for you as you went through the program, having that development day?
Yeah, development day. It's very crucial because sometimes you end up opening a bit more to your caseworker than what you do to your manager. For me, I think it's a bit more of an advantage because I walk the same journey as the champs do, because I'm still in the recovery and I will always be in the recovery. So they tend to, I have an open door policy where I tell them, you know what, communication is one of the key pillars. If you're not going to tell me how you're feeling, or you don't communicate that, listen, I'm not in a good space. Because you come from a life where you bottle everything up. So with your caseworker, you are able to unpack and just, she just sits there or he just sits there and just listens. So you are able to say, and it helped me a lot in the sense there was a lot of times when I was battling with things, and I would say to her, this is what's bothering me. How do I overcome this? So it's a very useful tool in the sense that sometimes just want to be heard, just want to be able to just unpack. So it's a very, very useful.
Okay, cool. I just think that's amazing that we have a space that doesn't just take champs and give them a sense of what employment actually looks like, but also working very intensely on themselves on the development day. And I think that makes the U-turn program itself very, very special.